Let us go live. Let us see what we have here. Good evening, everybody. Gary here with RoXolid Productions on a monumental evening. It is our second anniversary here on the channel. We want to check and see, make sure everything is working audio and visually here before we go very far. I hope everybody is having a great evening so far. Why are we not live yet? Why are we not live yet? There we go. Let's see what we have. Hey, Hitman, how you doing? Keith, how you doing? Thank you all for joining us. Everything looks and sounds good on my end on my phone, so we are going to get rolling here shortly before we do get going. I do want to thank you all for coming by, checking out what we are playing here tonight. We are playing the poll results. We're in. It was Darkwing Duck for the NES. Now, we are playing on our HDMI-Modded NES. This is the US, not the PAL version. I do own both of them. But I am using the HyperCAN Cadet audio and video checked. Anything? Okay. Are you guys having issues? I thought it was looking good on my side. Everything? Oh, you were saying audio and video check. Got it, Keith. I'm not very smart some days, tell you what. So only got two things to say. No, I've only got two words for you. Sorry, had to do it. So, yes, we are playing using the HyperCAN. This is the Cadet wireless controller. Actually, I really, really like it. It's done pretty well for me so far. Debated about what we were going to play tonight. Thought about Super Mario World. Thought about a bunch of different games. Why? There we go. Press start. But the poll results were in. Hey, yo. Who wants to take a survey? One more for the Darkwing Duck guy. So, this is not the autographed version I got at Midwest Gaming Classic this year. That one will probably never be played again. We're going to go ahead and get rolling on here. Mark Hamill saved Child's Play for me, and I am addicted to Pretty Little Liar's Mind. My daughter and Ginger, I think, both liked Pretty Little Liars. I was never into that one myself. Ginger and I were actually talking about the new Child's Play tonight because I could have sworn that I heard that they recast the voice actor for Chucky. I couldn't remember who I had heard they cast. And then I heard an ad for it today, and I'm like, that's right, it's Mark Hamill. Now, last week we did have the incomparable E.C. Myers vids. Was doing a simulcast with, I can't remember her name, I feel so dumb. Almost as dumb as I would have felt for falling down there. But they did a combination Twitch, YouTube stream, and it was awesome. If you guys have never seen Eugene Myers, a.k.a. E.C. Myers vids, play this, he is really, really good at it. I've actually never seen the game beaten. Come on, there we go. I also finally saw the newest Star Wars also. Oh, dude, you are so wrong. You thought The Last Jedi was better than Rogue One? Let me just give you a little advice. Oh, first of all, don't miss the hooks. Stop smoking or stop sniffing paint fumes. That is bad. Marijuana is bad. Okay. Now, I don't know what's going on here because I've had a couple button presses miss, and never had that before. I wonder if it's because I've got my laptop between myself and the receiver on the NES. Who knows? With any kind of wireless signal, you can get interference from just about anything. Love Last Jedi Rogue One was overhyped. I guess I was just too... I'm not woke enough to appreciate The Last Jedi because The Last Jedi it was terrible. And I think Mark Hamill pretty much nailed it in all the videos, all the idiotic videos where he said, "I loved what you did with everybody's character except mine." It was so emasculating. Gingerbeard, the gaming dad, Hartley. Hey, Gingerbeard, how you doing? All right, got past the hooks. That's always a challenging part in this game. This is such an amazing game, too. Now, I'm playing on real Nintendo hardware. This is my Top Loader NES that we modded about a year ago is when that project started. And then New Year's Eve, we had the unfortunate incident where it stopped working. This is probably, in the last 2 years, this is probably one of my favorite things that I've gotten done, tested out, has been this HDMI top loader for the NES. Now, you know, the system itself was a birthday present, actually, from the amazing Ginger. Along the same lines as it's actually the one of 3 consoles she's bought me since we've been together. She bought me my Spice Orange GameCube for our, I think it was our first Christmas. It was either the first or second Christmas we were together. If she's watching right now, she'll kill me for not remembering exactly, but actually, no, she won't. She's cool about that stuff. Then she got me this Top Loader NES for my birthday. And then a Super Mario Kart DS. We are pretty far away, Nightcorn, and part of the reason is that, well, we had a baby, so that's what a lot of funds have gone to. Ginger is a caterer by trade. She owns her own business, and anyone who knows anything about small business owners, when you do things like take vacation or have sick time or maternity leave, yeah, none of those things exist. So we've been, things have been going well, though. You know, things are, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is, to quote the incomparable Gabbo Gabbo. And we got past Quacker Jack there, which is always pretty good. Now we'll go to Wolf Duck next. The good thing is, you know, Murphy is, I mean, we were actually just outside, so you guys may hear a baby cry from, you know, every now and again. I'd like to say that Ginger is downstairs playing Yoshi's Island. Little Ellie just got her first shots and everything today, and she had been pretty good most of the day, but last hour or so, the Tylenol and everything that she had at the doctor's office has kind of worn off. And she's a hurting little girl. Both of her fat little legs are pretty red, and she's gonna be hurting tonight. I do have some exciting announcements too about the channel too coming up. Convention-wise, we will be again at the Midwest Gaming Classic this year. We will actually have a panel again. This year, I think the focus of the panel, I'm probably going to do something revolving around the Nintendo 64. The last year and a half really seems to be the N64 is really kind of coming back in spades. Between different mod kits, adapters, HDMI kits, controllers. I mean, the N64 is just, it's had a really nice resurgence. And what I think I'm going to do is a panel on how to get your N64 ready for 2020, basically making sure that you have it all up to date. Anything, you know, for, you know, with new controllers, HDMI mod kits, like I mentioned, the RGB mods. Even doing things like the how to mod it so you can make it region free. So my goal is, before the show, what I will probably end up doing is purchasing an NES or NS, is it NS1, I think is what it is. The version of the N64 that you can install Voltar's RGB mod board in. And I'm probably going to do it live on site at the Mo Game Con. I'll install one of the region-free adapters, like what I did in that recent video. And then I will go ahead and probably pair it up with a Brawler 64. And we might, not sure if we're going to sell it on site or what, but what I'd like to do is basically take whatever funds come from that and donate it to charity. Let's check the chat real quick. Being a dad is the best. It's a lot of work, but definitely worthwhile. Enjoyed, everything that I did with my now 16-year-old and now LA2. With the Genesis Mini, be able to play actual carts. I don't think the Genesis Mini can play cartridges. I think it's just emulation. But I honestly, with the baby and everything, I have not been up to date on the Genesis Mini news. I know that they dropped the last 12 titles. Today, I know that Earthworm Jim was confirmed to be on the system, which is cool. We will be buying one for the channel here. So, yeah, I think the Genesis Mini, they are doing the right, at least they're saying the right things right now. The one thing I really hope is that the responsiveness is a little bit better than the Nintendo systems, because as great as the NES and Super NES Classic are, they have some pretty significant lag in them. Most noticeable for testing out in Punch-Out, but Contra, you can notice it too. What I'm interested in seeing, quite honestly, is that, how soon it gets hacked, just like the NES Classic did. Wow, I thought I killed you, dude. Let's see. J-Love! Give you a slap action there. Lots of attachments like a real Genesis. Well, I know that Retrobit is working on a Genesis Mini specific controller. So that will be very cool. Oh, I thought I could get it and I didn't. Dang it. I got greedy there. Now, Jen, I did actually have a poll up earlier today to ask people what they wanted me to play tonight. I did throw Adventure Island up there, so I was thinking about you. Now, Jen and I will also both be at the Southeast Game Exchange at the end of August, where I will actually be doing a panel with the one and only BP Retro, and we are going to be doing we came up with the title the other day. It's called Don't Play Games with Your Games, How to Properly Clean, Maintain, and how to properly clean, maintain, and service your retro video games and consoles. So basically we're going to talk about, basically when you get a new game, how to make sure that it is clean so you don't cross-contaminate your system, how to clean the systems themselves if you have difficult to fix games that just don't want to read, some of the things you can do to fix that. We are also going to talk, well, at least I will talk a little bit about battery replacements too. And the last convention probably for me for a while will be the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. I'm looking to see if I can get up there again this year. Issue with that this year is it's a week before my wedding, so yeah, bachelor party maybe. But as someone who doesn't drink, it'd be kind of a low-key bachelor party. But that's fine. Hoping to get out there with Gab. Oh, you dirty rotten. Gabbo and Riff again. We had a blast last year. I don't know if I ever told you this, but Gabbo does not have soft skin. Oh, that's right. I need to... Come on, come on, come on, die, you die. Again, now I am playing on actual Nintendo hardware here. Got him. Playing using the Hyperkin Cadet wireless controller. Really like these. This has actually been quite good for me. Let's see, who else do we have in here? Make sure, too, that you have the chat set to live chat and not to, was it top chat is the other option? Yeah, make sure you have live chat selected. That way you are seeing the most up-to-date chat. Now, we've only got one place to go, and that is to go to the liquidator, yeah. Now, this is where, like I say, the other night, EC Myers Vids, they were doing basically a 2-channel stream. Okay, come on. Yes, got it. Where he was streaming on... Wait a second. For some reason, I had hit down and select at the same time. Holy crap, it's Rax the Great. Dudes, everyone in here, if you haven't done so yet, do me a favor. That guy Rax the Great in there. In fact, I'm going to do this. Go ahead. If you're not doing so already, you need to follow this dude. Let's copy link address. Paste. Check that guy out right there. Also need to go ahead and do this real quick. We need to copy link address, and we need to add a wrench. You need to check this individual out here. Of course, I'm talking about JLove81. Check both of those folks out. Oh, crap. Thanks a lot, Rex. You just got me hit. Oh, I figure out what happened. I was holding my cape up, and that's what was causing the overclock. Look at that shiny new wrench next to Jen's name there. Look at that. Snazzy. Hey, Craig, how you doing? I've been good. Trying to get back into this whole content production thing. Having a 2-month-old can have its challenges. Thankfully, it's something that I have an amazing partner in Ginger who is like, yeah, you're not giving up on this whole YouTube channel thing. You're going to keep doing it. So go upstairs, go away from us, and yeah, we've got this covered. It's all your fault? How is it your fault, Rax? I want to see how you explain this is your fault. Oh, I don't have enough gas for it. One of the rare... Actually, that's something that's never been said about me before. Doesn't have enough gas for something. Burp. I was never a big fan of the Black Crows. Figure hang out and teach before I teach my Zumba class. Oh, very cool. Yes, Mike. Oh, Mike is here. Mike from HorizonHobby.com. Yes, I am the race director this weekend for the 3rd annual RC Fest out at Eli Field in Monticello, Illinois. At least I'm assuming that I'm going to be out there. I still have not heard any word of compensation yet, so you need to talk to your boss about that one, my friend. You know what, Rax? Just everything is your fault. Let's just go with that. How's that sound? Alright, let's go with that one there. And in fact, Mike, the Ginger and the Baby will likely be out this weekend as well for a little bit for a visit. I hate that Crocagator. Oh, you son of a... no, it's Free Kittens. Oh, I can't believe I actually got through that. Ah! Let's see. Who else is here? Hey, we got John Phillips. John, how you doing? Any plans on coming to any events in SoCal area or even the Portland Retro Gaming Expo? Yeah, Craig, I was actually talking about it. Charlie, how you doing? Hey, Charlie, Kirby's little guy. See, I know who you are. Let's see, Craig, I mentioned a little bit earlier that I will be at, or I'm planning on, oh, that was stupid of me. I will be at, or planning on coming to the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. That's at least my plans at this point. I don't have tickets yet. I haven't. I've got to reach out to them again. I talked to one of the guys at the Midwest Gaming Classic about coming up and maybe doing a panel. I don't have anything confirmed at this time. That's the best I can say. All right, awesome, got that. I'm going to Too Many Games in Southeast Game Exchange. Yeah, I thought about trying to do a couple more this year, but it's one of those where, you know, oh, that sucked. I didn't want to spread myself too thin. And quite honestly, I've found that convention videos just don't do as well. So it's a big expense with that. Not to say that it's all about the, how much money do I make? But it is, I gotta at least not lose my shirt because nobody wants to see me shirtless. I mean, that's just, let's be honest here, that's not pretty. I thought I saw the crocodile coming back this way. Come this year. If not, yep. Last year was my first year there. I was there with Riff and Gabbo from the Pixel Game Squad. We had an absolute blast. It was not just at the show, but just kind of hanging out and having a guys' weekend, as it were. I think it was something the three of us kind of needed, and we didn't even realize it at the time. And we're all very appreciative of it now. Got it. Now, I did see recently, and I actually... Oh, you suck! I hate that dude so much. Got it, good. I did see a copy of the TurboGrafx version of this game, which is absolutely terrible, on eBay for like $116 recently. It's not very good. As far as Darkwing Duck, tried to play the game, but I can't go very far. I love that game. Also, I absolutely hate those crows are flying in it. Yep. Phantom Menace is Jar Jar's film debut, but it also is the debut of the one and only Darth Maul, the best enemy ever, or basically villain ever in any Star Wars movie. And yes, I would put him above Lord Vader. Oh, you suck. Come on. Ah, dang it. Jen, I have 2 copies of it, one of which is autographed by the guy who created Darkwing. And the other version is from Germany, which plays a little bit different because it's faster. All right, come on. Okay, come on. Can I stay up here and get him? Dang it! Guys, he was awesome in Star Wars Rebels. Almost crazy seeing him on that show. Yes, and the guy who did the voice of Darth Maul in Rebels, and actually in, actually, no, it was Rebels. I was thinking, no, it was the Clone Wars, is the same actor that did the voice in Rogue One. He's actually the same actor that they based Starkiller on in The Force Unleashed. I can never remember his name, but he is a pretty well-renowned actor in the Star Wars community. But if you've ever seen Starkiller in the Force Unleashed games, the dude looks exactly like that. Oh, that sucked. Oh, I thought I had him. I hate the Liquidator. Does the PAL version play fast? Because it's exactly what it is, Keith. Let's see. Let me ask this, Gary. Who is the only character from Rogue One that isn't from the main series of films who appeared in The Last Jedi as well? Who's the main character and who appeared in The Last Jedi as well? R2 was not in Rogue One. Well, no, R2 was in Rogue One. And actually, technically, 3PO was too. We know you dislike Batman and I don't dislike Batman and Robin, but have you seen Superman 3 and Superman 4, The Quest for Peace? I have. One of them has got Richard Pryor in it, and I think that's 4. It's okay. Superman 3, really after 2, it was all downhill. We have my own convention called Slapathon Con, according to Chris Pico. That's awesome. Did you know that apparently all Star Wars fighting forms are not considered canon? That is true. Does the PAL version play fast? Yes, it is. Did not know. Hey, John, how you doing? Be going to any of the expos in New Jersey? No. She was technically important to Rogue One. Well, you've also got Princess Leia, but the real Princess Leia was not in Rogue One. Let's just be honest about that. No, John, the only 3 conventions I've got left penciled in right now is the Midwest Gaming Classic. No, that one's already done, dummy. Missouri Game Con, which is 2 months from yesterday. And the Southeast Game Exchange, and I may be going yet to the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. Trying to see if I can get a hold of those organizers to maybe do a panel or something there to see if I can have basically the expense shared a little bit or something. But if not, we'll see what happens. Maybe next year for Jersey John. Jersey John, I like that. Superman Returns is boring. Superman Returns is terrible. She kisses Finn in Last Jedi. The only one that I remember that kissed Finn in Last Jedi is Rose Tico, one of the worst characters of any series of any time. But then again, I've also been watching, I guarantee you he's not watching this, but there is a channel out there called nerderotic.com, Gary Beekler, comic book guy, really sharp. Like him quite a bit. He actually just hit 100,000 subs earlier today. The Jeremy over at Geeks and Gamers is another one. Also been watching the Anti-Trekker. That dude is awesome. There's another guy, again, if you are into Star Trek at all or sci-fi in general, Bird of Prey 9, I believe it's 09 for Bird's YouTube channel. Bird is a newer creator and just recently passed 1,000 subs, so Pretty cool to see that. Branching out a little bit from just the retro gaming. Not that I'm going to be branching out and doing more content, different content. This is pretty much what I'll be doing here. But it's kind of fun to see how people in other communities do things. I know one of the things watching the Anti-Trekker is he does a lot of streaming of a game called Kerbal, which is kind of a neat space agency sort of simulator. It's like $20 on Steam, I want to say. He's actually got some good content. Let's check here. Let's see. Did you check out both sessions of Cobra Kai? I do not have YouTube Red or YouTube T, whatever that version of YouTube is, so I have not seen Cobra Kai. I would like to, but I haven't seen it. Pretty much the only streaming platforms like that I subscribe to. I did subscribe to CBS All Access just to watch Star Trek Discovery, or as it is properly known as Star Trek STD, if you look at the initials. So think about it. You have Star Trek, The Next Generation is TNG. The original series is TOS. Deep Space Nine, easy, DS9. Voyager is VOI. Enterprise is ENT. And Star Trek Discovery is STD. Because that series is just terrible. You want to talk about, Mary Sue's and, people blast Rey in The Last Jedi. Rightfully so, because she's just inherently good at everything. Michael Burnham in Discovery is a bigger offender to that. Well, that gas is pretty much worthless. Oh, crap. Ah! Let's see. Oh, 8-Bit Glitch, how you doing? Let's check up here a little bit. Can't watch Cobra Kai. It looks fantastic. Damn YouTube decision. Yeah, well, you know what? It's one of those things, good on them for getting something pretty decent. YouTube Premium, it's $9.99 a month. Totally worth it. I might do it once here. I mean, I did 1 month of Star Trek. Or, sorry, not Star Trek. Well, pretty much it. CBS All Access for Star Trek. Can't say it. So I might do that and, just binge watch it. Man of Steel almost has Lois Lane. See, I love Amy Adams. I think she's awesome. Big reason why I got YouTube Red. Hers free next season. Huh. 8-Bit Glitch is here. I am multi-streaming. Okay. Who are you multi-streaming with, Jen? You're cheating on me over there. I see. I'm gonna slap you. You know what? Just for that, Jen, when I finally launch my anti-social networking platform, you can't join. I'm going to call it my FaceTube. Ah, you booger. Anyone here have an NES Classic or an original Nintendo? I have both an NES Classic and 2 original Nintendos. The Top Loader, which I've HDMI-Modded, and that's what we're playing on here, along with the Toaster, the original Toaster Edition NES. I got my NES Classic on the original launch day, not in the re-release, so I have the real NES Classic, not the bootleg one from Nintendo that they just used as a money grab to ruin everybody else's collectability. I hate videos like that. They changed it. It's made what I have worth less. No, it didn't, dude. Alright, come on, Liquidator. Got him! Yes! Talk about UP. We'll get on that in a second. Well, hello there, Chef. No. No, I will not. Let's see. Let me go here. Which one featured Whoopi Goldberg? That was TNG, correct. Let's see. Craig, that's right. I like that they're doing that. Have Red Premium. Yep. Okay. Anyway, okay. That's Mickey the Man Streaming does. Let's see. Would you be allowed to join? I don't follow you. I'm sorry, Nightcrawler, I'm a little bit behind. YouTube being down, we'll get to that. It would be cool to get me. Yep. Well, I was there last year and looking forward. Hopefully, I can get there again this year. My original NES from '86 and an AV Famicom. That's awesome. But you screwed him up good. There you go. Good job. Yep. I'm doing pretty decent. Let's see. I don't want to go to Moriarty. And I don't want to go to Bushroot yet. We'll go to Megavolt. So yeah, YouTube being down the other day. Again, I mentioned him a little bit earlier on. Congratulations to Gary Beekler at nerderotic.com. Make sure you check him out. Just hit 100,000 subs. You know, here's little old me with just about 7,000 subs. Go sub to this guy with 100,000. You know, but that's the biggest thing. And Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers kind of put something out here the other day, and it's so true. Is this community, when YouTube starts screwing with people, we need to. Oh, I forgot there were spikes up top too. We need to work together and not against each other. When one person is successful, it helps everybody. Your success does not come at the expense of someone else most times. You succeed because you're doing something that people like, that you're good at, that people enjoy watching. I just have to be a good Discount John Riggs. I can never beat those guys. And, well, anyways, so what's happened recently is a lot of YouTubers, and I mentioned Jeremy over at Geeks and Gamers, there's a bunch of other ones that had videos featuring Captain Marvel's deleted scene taken down and copyright stricken by Disney because it shows her in a very unlikable state, and basically they took Disney to task for even filming a scene like that in the first place and thinking that'd be okay. It was really, really crappy. It was just cringeworthy. Basically, it's women good, men bad, women strong, men weak, so on and so forth. It's that political correctness that I can't stand. If you like it, okay, that's fine. How do I beat these guys? I know you can do it because I saw. Oh, okay. I gotta shoot. Do I have to shoot the lamp when the genie's out? Is that what it is? Let me know in the chat, and I'll get back to the chat in a second. So, anyways, what Jeremy at Geeks and Gamers was talking about was this demonetization of videos based on copyright claims. And it's the completely bogus claim. It was fair use. It was commentary. Attribution was provided, so on and so forth. But what he brought up, and Gary at nerderotic.com brought up as well, is the fact that a lot of times when you see, there we go, okay, finally figured it out. When YouTube goes down, like it did the other day, a lot of times that's when they're screwing around with the algorithm, and that's a pretty significant change coming. If you all remember, for a long time, we were having issues where, damn it, any upload was being demonetized instantaneously. And then you had to appeal, so on and so forth. That's why now my videos go to Patreon subscribers first. That way, if it gets demonetized within the first 24 hours, I'm okay with that because Patreons are providing support to the channel anyways. I see that as a reward tier and a premium for them. So, but there are people that were having their entire channels demonetized for violations of TOS. Anyone who's familiar with Dash Star, who is a really popular, really good Star Wars YouTuber, he has not liked what Disney has done with Star Wars since they bought Lucasfilm. And he's been really vocal about how this current Star Wars is just not his, not for him. His channel, which has great content and has been around for a long, long time, I would say he's been around at least as long as AVGN, if not longer. His channel was completely demonetized. No explanation, and he has to wait like 21 days, yes, to be able to dispute it. Whoa! So there's that. Let me go up a little bit here. Let's see from your thing. Oh, okay. Any update on the Retro Fighters Dreamcast control? I'll hit on that in a second. Jenny made a joke. Okay. I couldn't. No, he hasn't figured it out yet. Well, that makes sense. Is actually cheaper for me to buy a Blu-ray player from Walmart than it is for me to purchase a gaming system with the Blu-ray drive, and those Blu-ray players play DVDs also. Very true. I've always distanced myself from fandom due to toxic behavior, fans stealing from fans, unnecessary drama. That's a good reason. That's why I only go around people like Gary who accept that everyone has their own opinion and accepts it. Here's the thing. So to that point, I can disagree with you, Nightcore. You and I can have vastly different opinions on things. And you know what? That's okay. You can disagree with someone and not be disagreeable. I will not say who I voted for in the last election. Oh, come on. But I will say that because of my state's voting records and whatnot, I did not vote for either of the candidates on the ballot. I wrote my own candidate in. But that being said, I think it's funny people that wanted to, make sure that if and when Trump lost, because there were certain, I'm not trying to bring politics, I'm not saying, again, who I voted for, because I didn't vote for either of them, and oh, damn it, I did vote for someone. They wanted to say that, Trump, would he accept the results of the elections when he lost? Well, it's been the other side who's had a hard time accepting the results of the election. So that being said, I think it's one of those things where YouTube is definitely getting into forms of censorship now. Dave Cullen is another really, really good YouTuber. Politically conservative, I'd say. And I do tend to be more conservative with a hint of libertarianism. That sucked. Those all flying squirrels suck. But I mean, you can see the analytics through like Social Blade where they're getting less views and their subscribers and whatnot the last 30 days has gone down, and the theory is that they are deprioritizing creators with a right-wing perspective. Whether or not that's happening, well, I don't know. The analytics don't lie. What they showed on their videos from their Social Blades didn't lie. And if that's what YouTube's doing, see, I come down on it from this perspective. YouTube is a private entity. They can run it however they want to. I don't have to be on YouTube. It just benefits me to be on YouTube because unlike Twitch, I can monetize produced content. So I don't stream as much as other people do. You guys know that. I like sitting down and doing the edits and making sure that we have a good looking video for everyone to check out. And quite honestly, it takes me less time, or it's easier for me to allocate time to do that than to do a stream like this. Like right now, Ginger is being remarkable with Ellie right now, who is, fighting, being in a lot of pain right now because she got her shots today. You know, without her support right now, this stream would not be happening. So, but I wish that Twitch or someone else would come out. Damn it, I knew that was going to happen. Would come out with a platform. Linda! Would come out with a platform that would rival YouTube for post-produced content. And, I mean, I would like to do more on Twitch. I think it's a good platform. I like the tools and everything that they have on it. The problem is that I can't monetize unless I stream 3 times a week. This is where my audience is, and this is where, you know, not to make it all about the money, but, you know, the money is a difference. Yeah, she's doing okay. Her legs are really red and swollen right now, though. We put some cold compresses on them right before the stream. I was going to stream a little bit earlier, but she was a hurting little girl. So Ginger and I were working together to try to help her out there. I would like to see a true YouTube competitor out there. Because one of the other things is that competition makes everybody better. I hate this little squirrel thing. I am so gonna die! I knew that. Let's check the chat these days. Need to agree to disagree. You know what? And you are spot on. I don't need to agree with you. I don't. And that's why you see in all my videos, these are just my opinions. You know, not to steal from the dude or anything, but that's just like your opinion, man. And we have so many people that I don't know how many times in the last year or two I've heard speech is violent. No, speech is speech. You're supposed to be able to air your differences and learn from each other, and you may never agree with what the other person says, but at least it gives you perspective to understand where they're coming from. Like, I understand where people that I don't agree with politically, I understand where they come from. I don't agree with where they're coming from, but I understand it. Let's see. One of my favorite cartoons and games, sorry, abruptly disappeared. Russ went live. Russ, what you doing? Russ, what you doing? Russ, what you doing? Let's find out. I'll actually be on Russ's channel shortly. I've got a bit that I don't know that he's ready to discuss yet, but he is working on a really cool concept for his channel, and he was kind enough to ask me if I wanted to be a part of it, and of course, Russ is a good dude. Oh, Linda, I don't got this. That's the thing. I know I don't have this. I have actually never beaten this game. Someone, I can't remember who it was, and I apologize. The Retro Fighters, was it the Saturn controller? Someone had asked about. I don't have any updates on it per se. I know that I've been talking to the Retro Fighter guys. They actually sent us a couple of really super cute onesies for Ellie. So I've talked to Robert within the last week or so. I hate the fact these guys can shoot down. He quacked. Yep. Can't wait to see it. Yep. I know that there's a lot of cool stuff coming out. Hyperkin sent out something earlier today about the Admiral N64 controller that they will have at E3. I know that they do not have a great reputation at all. I will completely throw that out there and grant that. I'm actually excited to see that at-game stand-up cabinet at E3 this year. Not that I'm going to E3, but the coverage of it, I know Riggs will be there. Make sure that you check out his coverage. Of course, Aaron, Riff, Mikey, Gabbo. He does not have soft skin. That's a lie, by the way. And the Pixel Game Squad will be at E3. I'm excited to see and learn more about that App Games arcade console. Because at this point, I have not picked up any of the arcade 1-up. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to do this. Oh, you son of a gun! Damn it! Oh, Jason, holy crap! Dude, happy second, Gary. This is why I started in with Gary in the first place. Great attitude. He puts out good vibes. Just price is right with some people. Dude, thank you so much. Wait, where? Who? Pixel Game Squad is here? What? Anyone else buffering? I just started buffering. Want to make sure that it is just on my end, which I meant to turn my settings down here. Let me know if you guys are buffering on your end. Everything looks to be okay on my end now. I'm going to throw something in chat. Skip frame detected. Hang on 1 second, guys. All right, let me check my Streamlabs here quick. All right. Any better now? Okay. Are you guys still seeing issues, or is it okay now at this point? It's skipping on your end. Let me do this. Close that there. Alright, let's see if that made it any better. I'm actually going to bring up, instead of on my computer where I had Chrome open, I'm actually open it up on my phone just to make sure. Holy crap! Wow, the Marlins are beating my Brewers 15-0. That's no bueno. Okay, sounds good. Alright, so I'm going to have my phone with my chat on it, so if you guys see me down, okay, it's okay now. I wonder if it's just something we're having the browser and everything going sometimes. I mean, and this is a Core i7. I've got 16 gigs of RAM. This is not a puny system. I don't know if I may have to go through and clean up some of my settings on OBS a little bit. I basically bought a new hard drive about 4 or 5 months, probably 6 months ago now at this point. And I've never quite gotten the settings in OBS to be as smooth as when I was on my original hard drive on my system. Oh, you dirty, rotten son of a cheese wagon driver. Seriously, these squirrels suck. Oh, man. You know what I need? I need a squirrel put. And for those of you who have never seen a squirrel put, it's a catapult for squirrels that try to eat out of your bird feeders and stuff. So let's talk a little bit about where the channel's been the last 2 years, because this is an anniversary stream after all. So, couple things that not everybody knows. Let's have some real talk right now. So, I had been basically the social media guru for my company for pretty much from 2005 until January of 2014. And then I got a new boss who had his own ideas on how things needed to be run. And unfortunately, it was one of those things where never let facts get in the way of strongly held opinions. And basically, he wanted to change everything about what we were doing. Oh, you suck. Because he thought that his way would be better, even though he was advocating for things that we had done in the past and tried out and did not work. So basically, I had launched RoXolid Productions as a way to still be able to do something creative. Yes. What? Oh, you suck, you little squirrel. Let's go to the stage select. We'll try a different one real quick. John, thank you so much. Craig, good to see you. Thanks for coming by. So I had come up with the idea to start RoXolid Productions in February of 2015. And you're like, wait a second, 2015, 2 years ago was 2017. Numbers don't add up. I went through a pretty nasty divorce. And it was one of those things where I had filmed a couple things here and there, and it wasn't working. And you just, when you're in a place like that, you can't fake happiness. And who wants to watch someone on YouTube that's depressed and sad and whatnot? And so it was one of those things where I wasn't really happy with what I had come up with conceptually for content. So I had to kind of figure out what I wanted to do. And I knew I didn't want to do something RC related necessarily, just because I didn't want to hear people complain that, of conflicts of interest. Whoop. As I knock my computer, my phone falls. So then it kind of hit me in, hit me right there a couple times, quite honestly. Hit the doghouse. Wow. I can't believe I'm having this kind of trouble with this. We may end up switching to Super Mario World, by the way. So I had gotten back into retro gaming, I would say in, actually, January of 2015. Wow, I am terrible at this level. We're going to do it. We'll try the other level. We'll try Moriarty. So I had actually gotten a Retron 5. Absolutely loved it. And kind of found that, hey, there's a whole retro community out here. I had no idea that, anyone else was into still playing NES and Super NES games or anything along those lines. But, the Retron 5 really got me back into it. Got me enjoying playing games again. I had always played games. I had always had, whatever the latest generation of console was. Generally, the whatever Nintendo system was, and then maybe a PlayStation. Never an Xbox. Even to this day, I don't classify myself as owning an Xbox. There's one in the house, but it belongs to Ginger's dad for the grandkids. And I had found, shortly after the NES Classic came out, I had actually found, I thought I could duck out of that. I had found Sean Long's channel. And he's the one that I learned how to hack my NES Classic from, watching his video, which is funny because if you look at his stuff and listen to him, like, he completely admits he's not the technically astute guy, but he's the one that got me into modding my NES Classic Edition. So I had initially decided, all right, I'm going to do some stuff that's going to be focused on consumer electronics and maybe have some gaming in there. So like some of my early videos, even before 2 years ago from now, is my unboxing of my Switch, I did a kind of a overview of the original Google Pixel XL. You know, some odds and ends, but nothing with any real consistency. And then the weirdest thing happened. DirecTV got bought out by AT&T. Now, I had been through, you know, several moves, several jobs, a couple spouses, but I always had DirecTV for my internet service. Well, AT&T is terrible. That's just my opinion. If you have AT&T, if you work for AT&T, I apologize, but I am not a fan of AT&T services. So I started... I had started... oh, Ryan, thank you so much, dude. I'm not at 7K yet. I'm close, though. $7 for 7K. And this guy here, you know, don't go anywhere, because this story will get to CastleManiaGames.com, because, of course, it does. So, my first serious video that I got into was, you know, how to cut the cord, because, you know, I hadn't seen anyone talk about how to do it, what the best services out there were, and it seemed like something, again, that I could do, and there's no conflict of interest with the hobby industry. I could do it, and, you know, I'm going to be testing out these services anyways, because I want to find out what's the best for my own personal use, so I started diving into that. And then I started watching, again, more and more stuff on retro gaming. I found Riggs on a video with Metal Jesus where they were talking about Famicom imports, because I had that Retron 5, and one of the cool things is it could play import Super NES, Super Famicom, and Famicom games. But I needed to know what to get. So one night, you know, I decided, you know what, I'm going to go into retro gaming too. But I'm not thrilled with the way that my Retron 5 was working. I had known people that, you know, were kind of down on the Retron 5 due to the source code issues and whatnot. If you're still hung up on that, no offense, you need to get over it. But I had, you know, kind of looked at getting other clone consoles. So the first one that I bought, I think, pretty sure it was the Gamerstech 8-bit HD. Really liked it. It was a good hardware-based system, at least for the money. And I think I paid like $23 for it. It was, I want to say it was an open box item that I got off of Amazon. And then one night, Sean Long is streaming some stuff, and I see, you know, he's talking about this CastleManiaGames.com, and I had gone to the site a couple times. He's got some cool stuff. And I noticed that Riggs was talking about this Castlemania Games guy. Well, who the hell is this Castlemania Ryan? Why do all these guys keep talking about him? And then I got involved in Sean's chat and everything a little bit. And got to talking to Ryan. And dying as Darkwing. And going all the way back to the start of... it did show up, John. I saw it. You know, I reached out to Ryan. I'm like, dude, I've got this small YouTube channel. I'm almost to a couple hundred subs. I don't even think I was to... And Ryan, you may remember this. I don't. I think I was maybe to 500 subs. I know I wasn't to 1,000 yet. I'm like, I've got a newer YouTube channel. You know, you're a really cool guy. I like your products. You've got all these different promos that you do with these other YouTubers. Is there a way that... How do I play? He's like, dude, I like helping out new content creators. Here, we'll set up a promo code. How does this work for you? So on and so forth. And in fact, one of the funniest things was, and I'll even give you a bonus code for your Patreons. I'm like, I don't have a Patreon, or if I did, I didn't have anyone that was supporting it yet. But like, he totally went above and beyond and was one of the first people to kind of buy into what I was trying to do here. And, you know, from there, I got in touch with, you know, a couple other companies in industry, or within the industry. I got a hold of Gamerstech, shared the content I had done on their system, and you know, had told them I was pretty high on it. I had also purchased a Retrobit RES Plus and a what was the other one? The Retron HD from Hyperkin. Did a shootout between both of them. You know, the Gamerstech, they were early on to kind of see what we were doing here and help support us too. Retrobit, I will never forget Retrobit donated an RES Plus, or actually no, I take it back. We were giving away an RES Plus. That's what it was. I was giving away the RES Plus that I used in the review on the shootout to the 500th subscriber to the channel. And Retrobit was actually the 500th subscriber to the channel here. So thanks to Richard and Ron and everybody over at Retrobit. And then they also donated a bunch of the Mega Man controllers, which the winner of one of those controllers, John, won the Sega Genesis controllers in here now. You know, other people, damn it, I was looking at the chat. Other people have, and companies have stepped up to help us. You know, people ask, you know, why do you always promote Castlevania games and whatnot? It's like, first of all, he's a friend. Second of all, he was the first one to support me, and I'm a loyal person like that, so I will always remember Ryan, even when I get big and famous, and I will eventually become Pat the NES punk towards him. Although I'm still waiting for the podcast to start up that we've talked about a couple times. Hey, we need to do a podcast. And if you haven't done so yet, you need to check out the new CastlemaniaGames.com. This is not a cheap plug. This is a good, expensive plug. But Ryan's been working really hard on it. One of the cool things that he's done, and I don't know that I've seen any other retro store out there, not saying that others aren't doing this, I just haven't seen it, is he's got a nice referral program now, too, on the website, where he's calling it Castle Cash. Where it's kind of like any other loyalty program. It's like the Reward Zone or anything like that, like Best Buy. The more you spend, the more you save, and the more you earn. You also get referral credits and stuff. And just overall, he's just done a lot of work making the site look better, function better, easier to navigate, easier to find stuff. If you find things that aren't working right, you know, the best thing to do, quite honestly, just let them know. It's still very much a site in development, and knowing the platform that he's working with, it's the same one I actually use in my job. There is no test environment, so basically you get to test in the live environment, which is never a good idea. Let's see. I can believe that, man. I know, having to get used to that platform myself since the beginning of January. I am not a fan of Shopify. It is not an easy-to-use platform by any stretch of the imagination. It's just, I miss IBM WebSphere. A little cherry Coke for me. You know, a couple other things, too. First convention that I ever went to was last year. I went to the Midwest Gaming Classic. And that was a really fun thing for me because of the fact that I got to partner with someone that I had gotten to know, at least from an online perspective, pretty well. Talked to him quite a bit because in 2017, we were going through the YouTube demonetization issues where you'd upload something, it would demonetize it right away, along with Sean Long. You know, this guy here, the one and only John Riggs, has been just a wealth of knowledge and help to me. And I was blessed to be a part of a panel John was doing at the Midwest, not Midwest Gaming, I keep calling it Midwest Gaming Classic, Missouri GameCon. And basically how that all came about was he was coming there just to be part of the show. I'm about 3 hours from St. Louis, is where Champaign is. And he wanted to do an open cart surgery, but he didn't want to take his soldering equipment with him. I'm like, dude, I'm coming down anyways. Why don't I just bring my soldering station and everything? You can use my tools. Feel free to, you know, use it and have at it. And, you know, when you're done, I'll just take it home. Let me know what you need, and I'll get you squared away. It's like, well, if you're bringing stuff for me to use, you're going to be on the panel with me. Okay. So John was super helpful and gracious, and I really appreciate his help there. Let's see. And then, of course, he helped promote this channel as well through his channels to watch in 2018. It was myself, I think it was Game Glitch, Jeff at Smash JT, Kid Shroy Rukin, and some channel called the Pixel Game Squad. Actually, no, were they Pixel Game Squad? No, what were they at that? Okay, someone in the chat, let me know. What was Pixel Game Squad before it was Pixel Game Squad? And I don't mean Retro Liberty. Damn it. Superhero Game Squad? Is that what it was? That's what it was, wasn't it? I think that's what it was. Someone in the chat. But Riggs promoted all 5 of our channels and his channels to watch in 2018 episode, and I mean, all the channels on there have grown. Mine has been probably the slowest out of all of them, but I'm okay with that because my starting point was, yes, got there. I think I was the lowest out of all of them to begin with, and quite honestly, I mean, how do you compete with Ref? And then after Missouri Game Con, I went to the Portland Retro Gaming Expo for the first time. It was definitely neat to go to 2 different, totally different types of conventions. I'm not downplaying Missouri Game Con at all, so please don't take it as such. But Missouri Game Con is definitely smaller, just in terms of square footage. Great deals. A lot of the same vendors, actually, at Mo Game Con as what's up in Portland. But Portland is just huge. It's crazy how big Portland was. Portland is bigger than the Midwest Gaming Classic. Got the chance to sing happy birthday to, was it Rip's birthday we said it was? We went to Red Robin one night, and I think we said that it was Rip's birthday, so he got free ice cream that night. Adam Korlick was there. It was fun seeing Adam and Gabbo together, because Gabbo is such a Sega nerd, and obviously so is Korlick. And both are such good dudes, too. Got to hang out with Ryan for the first time. Richard and Ron from Retrobit were there. Got to hang out with them for the first time. Met Terrence and Cecile from Hyperkin. The immortal John Hancock was there, and I will tell you, I had not met John before. He is honestly the nicest guy in the world. And what I appreciated about him was he and I think, were 2 of the people that did not just utterly dump all over the At Games Sega Genesis, because it did have a positive to it. It's not great, but it has its market. And he and I had a really good conversation at dinner one night, just talking about, how so many people have an attitude of, well, if it's not for me, it's crap. And not saying that there aren't crap products out there, because there most certainly are. I'm getting ready. Day after tomorrow, you guys will see a video on a product that I think is pretty craptastic. Patreon supporters, it's already there. Go ahead and check it out. But, it's... And I mentioned this to Riff when we were in Portland together, too, is just the community aspect of it. I didn't expect that. I'm a pretty private person, even going through doing different races and whatnot. That's awesome. Ryan, you can take it off and wash it. It's okay. And never, ever buy Demon's Sword. That is one of the worst games ever. It's right up there with Rygar for the Master System. But, like, I didn't expect to be welcomed into this community like this. Even, I mean, you guys have seen, I don't know if she's still here, but Jen J-Love is awesome. Linda, obviously, is here. John's been here for a long time. John was one of the first subscribers. Ryan, obviously. Gabo and all the guys at the Pixel Game Squad. Riggs. Hancock. You know, Adam Korlick. That dude is, like, stupid smart. And really just clever and creative. I do still need to go ahead. He and I talked last year at the Missouri Game Con. Maybe I should just tell him bring his... He was retro-briding a Super Famicom Junior, and I told him, I was like, dude, why don't you have me RGB mod it for you? That way you can use, you know, SCART or HD Retrovision cables. And he's up in Chicago, kind of near Galloping Ghost, I guess. And we just have not, in a year, figured out a time where I can grab his system from him. I may just tell him to bring it to Missouri Game Con, and I'll do it. Screw it, we'll do it live. Do it there at the show for him. Another awesome, you know, person too. Another Adam is Adam from One Up Cards. You know, it's kind of neat to be a part of this, and I guess just 2 years in, I didn't expect it, especially watching, you know, guys like AVGN and Pat and those guys, Stuttering Craig, Norm the gaming historian, super cool guy, kind of quiet spoken, super nice. You know, I like that about this community, is who you see by and large is who that person is. They just may turn things up a little bit to have the radio voice from time to time, as my voice cracks and I get hit three times with the shell. Fudgesicle! Alright, one more time, and then we're going to go help out Ginger with the Rugrat. But I still remember to this day how excited I was to hit 100 subscribers, because that meant, at least back then, that meant that I could do super chats. And, you know, that's all I wanted, was I wanted to be able to stream and do super chats. And then I hit 200, and then 500, and then 1,000, and then 2,000, and then so on and so forth. Just looking where things have come year over year, we have grown by about 125% year over year. So we're not seeing increased growth, but it's steady growth. I know a lot has had to do with the fact that the last 4 or 5 months I've not been able to produce content on the regular like I would want to, but you know, life is one of those things that happens when you're busy making other plans. And we definitely did not anticipate having a baby. My eldest is 16, going on 17 here in a couple of months. I am super proud of everything she has accomplished. She is an amazingly talented dancer, and you know, just graduated, or not graduated, but you know, moved on. She's going to be a junior in high school next year. So it's weird that I have a 2-month-old and a junior in high school. It's also, I appreciate the fact that this is the #1 YouTube channel for NASCAR that Castlemania Games comes to. That is one thing that you should all know, is that there is no better NASCAR YouTube channel out there than this one here, at least according to CastlemaniaGames.com. But it's... I honestly hope, and I think having the perspective of the YouTube channel I used to run for my work, we had about 50,000 subs. and that was with a marketing department behind us, with graphic designers and videographers and everything. And, you know, being able to outpace a company channel for growth on a personal channel about retro video games, I never expected that. I've surpassed all of the milestones that I had when I was, you know, doing social media for my company. I never expected that. You know, even despite doing several live streams of Demon Sword, because that game, how can you like that? That game is so stupid. Oh, it was almost as stupid as that move right there, man. So, little story behind the whole Demon Sword reference is the fact that Ryan was just saying up and down how great it was. So he sent me a copy. So what did I do? I ordered up a copy and I sent it to Rax the Great, just to kind of keep the joke going. And then I finally played it and I'm like, this is the game that you're so excited about? But then again, like I say, I will be quite honest, I don't like Rygar, and to me it reminds me a lot of Rygar. So the best advice that I can give to you guys and gals out there, if you have a channel, if you're plugging away, if you're frustrated, if it's not doing what you want it to do, first of all, think about little things. You know, would you watch your video if you weren't in it? If not, that's a problem. Context is king. I know I've talked to Jen, J-Love, a little bit about this. You know, if you're going to go do game pickup videos, give me context. Give me a voiceover. Give me some background music. Don't have the same video or audio track go on throughout the whole thing. It becomes like fingernails down a chalkboard. You know, say that, you know, for example, and I'm not saying that I'm the greatest at doing convention coverage. I'm not. I know that. I enjoy doing it. I think I do a decent job at it. But for example, you know, why are you going to this convention or wherever you're going to pick up games? What games are you looking for, and why are you looking for them? Why is this a game that you just have to have in your collection? That context just, it speaks to your audience, and your audience will respond. I am not as big of a fan. Riff has a philosophy that, you know, you shouldn't stay on any one shot for more than a few seconds. Anyone who's seen Riff knows he's ADHD as can be. He's hopped up on what is it? I'm hopped up on Mountain Dew. I'm gonna come at you like a spider monkey, Chet. That is Riff, and I love him. I mean, the guy is amazing. He's one of my best friends, and I appreciate everything that he does. But the visual look that he goes for in his videos is not quite the same as mine. Now, I will say, I have absolutely learned from watching what he does, what he presents, how he presents it. Hey, I think we're up to Moriarty here. Holy shit! Sean, is that really you? Pardon my French there. I just gotta take a second here. I think this is the first time, Sean, I've been in your streams before, and I know we've talked before, and I know you probably weren't in here earlier, but seriously, dude, for all the help you were when I was getting started, thank you so much for everything that you did to help me out, for just listening, for tweeting back and forth with me. Dude, you are awesome, and I greatly appreciate everything that you've done for me. Thank you so much. Get a haircut, young man. That's all I gotta say. Something important I've learned is what's good for those who ain't... Absolutely. And I know, you know, one of the things that I look at, people, you know, go get, you know, the super high zoot cameras and green screen and whatnot. Look at John Riggs. And I'm not saying this to dig on Riggs, because I love... John is another one that, and I've mentioned it tonight too, a ton. John takes his cell phone, sets it up on an angle on his kitchen table, and films with his kids. And you know what? I want to see every last thing that he is up to with Lily and Laura. I want to see what they're up to. Why? Because John is interesting as can be. And I love the fact that John is who you see on YouTube is who John is. And unless you're going to play a part, unless you're going to be a Pat the NES punk, unless you're going to be an angry video game nerd, and those guys have already done that shtick. They've got that figured out. Unless you're going to play a character, just be yourself. It comes to the point, it's always easier to tell the truth versus telling a lie because you don't have to remember, it's easier to remember the truth. Quality is important. Don't think that it's not, but you can get amazing quality out of your cell phone. You have a 4K camera most likely in your pocket. Just remember that. Until January, I want to say, January or February, I was shooting with my Note 9. Before that, my Note 8. Before that, my Pixel XL. You can do great YouTube work with your cell phone. Lighting is important. I've spent like $50 on lights, and they work great. We'll try that stage one last time. We're going to wrap it up. Be open to feedback and criticism. If someone's telling you, hey, you said this wrong, and you suck and you're an idiot because of doing it. First of all, check your feelings at the door, because facts don't care about your feelings. It's one of my favorite sayings. If someone is taking the time even to dump on you, take that as a learning opportunity that you can be doing something better. If someone's trolling you, first of all, you got to appreciate the fact that you need to monetize your trolls. That's another thing that I've mentioned a couple times tonight. Gary Beekler over at Nerdrotic talks about. Monetize your haters and your trolls. Anytime, don't get hung up on likes and dislikes and whatnot. If people are reacting, that's good. That's a good thing. And sometimes people are going to be negative on a video of yours just because they don't like the topic that you're talking about. Like, I expect any video that I do featuring an AtGames product is going to have a ton of thumbs downs just because people hate on AtGames. I could have the best AtGames video ever produced. Doesn't matter. People are still going to give it a thumbs down because they hate AtGames for whatever reason. Same thing, Hyperkin. Again, there will always be a segment of the hobby that will just dump all over Hyperkin because of the issue with where they got the source code for the Retron 5. Like I mentioned earlier, it's 2019. You need to get over that. I run a family-friendly channel. You don't have to. Look at AVGN again. That dude is super popular and drops the F-bomb. He could use the F-bomb as every word in a sentence. Just do what's right for you. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. It's okay to find inspiration. Don't direct copy. And if you are going to do something that someone else does, have the common courtesy to say, hey, you did this. I really liked it. Do you mind if I use it too? Like I say, I talk to Aaron at Pixel Game Squad all the time. And there are tips and tricks I pick up from him frequently. And I do it's like, dude, do you mind if I kind of see if I can incorporate something like that? No, go for it. But it's the professional respect and courtesy. And it's acknowledgement, too, that, hey, you're a bigger contributor to this community than you probably realize. And, I mean, what's next? I've got Just Buy a Raspberry Pi. That's awesome. Holy shit, Adam Korlick. We were talking about you earlier tonight, my friend, too. I see that you are going to be at, and as you guys hear, as I'm talking about being family-friendly, and I drop an S-bomb, Adam, I see that you're going to be at Mo GameCon again this year. Bring your Famicom Junior with you, and I will do the mod for you on site because I'm going to be doing some other stuff with N64s there. So sorry it's taken like a year. We just had a baby and stuff, so we've had a couple things going on. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. We're not at 7K quite yet, but we'll be there soon. And that's one of those things too. You know, and for those just new to the chat, kind of talking to, not that I'm a huge channel, but those who are just starting out looking to get into it, looking for advice and whatnot, never be embarrassed about where you're at. I still remember one of the coolest things to me, and this is going to be totally nerdy, meeting Adam last year at Missouri Game Con. First thing I did is, Adam, I don't know if you remember this or not, but I just went up to him and said, thanks for doing your videos on retro broiding. It helped me so much to be able to restore a Super Famicom I had. And he took an honest interest in my channel, asked, where we're at sub-wise. I'm like, I think at that point I'd either just crossed 3,000 or 4,000. And, the first words out of his mouth were, congrats. I mean, and it wasn't, it was a sincere congratulations. Everybody has been through the struggle. If you're at 50 subscribers now, oh, awesome. Holy cow. Just gotta, that's, okay, I just put 2 and 2 together here. Thanks, Ryan. That's Ian from the CU podcast in here. Ian, another guy, just super gracious as well. Wow. We're getting the rock stars in the house. Now, Ian, I don't know if you're still in here or not. I apologize for that. I just know you as Ian from, CU podcast and from Luna Games. Pat is not the only one who spent some time at a Suncoast motion picture company. I actually managed one of those stores for about 9 months. I don't know if Pat was there around the same time I was. I was there 2002 to 3. The one redeeming factor about Suncoast was the fact we were owned by Best Buy at the time, so we got a sweet employee discount at Best Buy. But don't be intimidated. All right, we're to Moliarty here. Don't be intimidated to ask for help. Don't be too prideful to ask for help. Like I mentioned earlier, one of the ways that I got to, just being honest about it, Sean and I aren't best friends. It's probably been close to a year since we've really talked a whole lot, and it was mostly going through Twitter and stuff. But it's one of those that when we were all going through the demonetization issue where we'd upload something, and as soon as it would upload, YouTube would demonetize the thing for no frickin' reason. Talking to him and Riggs together on, solutions, talking to him about the not open source, basically the disclaimer that it's like free use, or what's the term I'm looking for? Someone in the chat save me because I'm dying here. Fair use, that's what I'm looking for. Sent both him and John the company I worked for, I had our legal team draft me up a free use disclosure that is in every one of my videos, just to cover my rear end. And it's one of those things that it didn't cost me anything to have done, and I wanted to make sure that others that were affected by it could benefit from what I was able to do. Share that knowledge freely and willingly, because there may come a time when you need something like that shared with you. Like right now, I could use some more life shared with me. Damn it! Yeah, I worked at Suncoast, and especially in the early 2000s, Best Buy discount. It was. That's actually where I got my... Well, here's the thing, Ian, is the fact that, A, I suck at playing games, so this doesn't really affect a whole lot. But also just the fact that I did radio for a couple years. And being able to, first of all, know that I have a face for radio. John Riggs and I both have that in common. That's one of the reasons why I say, hi there, Discount John Riggs here. John, super cool guy. I don't know how many... If you haven't done so, if I haven't pimped his channel enough yet, make sure that you subscribe to the absolutely amazingly awesome John Riggs. He's just a great guy all around. I'm gonna switch. But yeah, just any retail during that time just sucked. Yes! Holy crap, I beat it. Ian, thank you so much for the super chat, man. It, yeah, I remember that book as well. Mega Band 29 is in the house. Wow, that was awesome. You guys have missed a lot of dying getting here so late in the chat here and everything. But again, the main thing is this is a community, and the sooner that you, and like I mentioned earlier, I'm a pretty private person. Oh, he's such a great. He is, Ian. He's rock solid. See what I did there? Well, and the thing that I love too is, so many of you know my background is in the RC industry. Spent, years there, from helping launch a magazine to working for one of the largest manufacturers and distributors. And one of our divisions was a division called Team Losi Racing. Actually, still is one of our divisions. And it was basically founded by the Losi family. Pops Losi. His right-hand man was a gentleman by the name of Gary Keyes. And Gary and Pops had been around forever and a day. Won national and world championships together. Just solid dude. And when Gary retired, there's actually, believe it or not, an RC Hall of Fame. As funny as it seems, but yes, there is an RC Hall of Fame. And Bill Jarrett, who was the president of Team Losi at the time, basically inducted Gary Keyes in the RC Hall of Fame. Trust me, there's a place I'm going with this. And Bill made a point that in an industry where people covet knowledge and use it as power over others, he would share it freely for the benefit of everyone else. And it's such a true statement, and it's an attitude that not enough people have, unfortunately. People think that knowledge, if I have knowledge you don't have, that makes me better than you. And it's unfortunate. And it's one of those things where, I not that I am the patriarch for small channels, because I'm not. There are other people who have done so much more for smaller channels. Smash JT for the longest time did a, let me critique your channel, and it was a great feature. I wish he would do it more. But it's one of those things where, we need to help each other. We need to learn from each other. We need to make each other better, because much like WWE, when you have competition, it makes everybody better. And that's why I'm hoping that the wrestling product now, oh damn it, gets better moving forward. I'm not going to too many games. I messed up the no death run when I hit start. What are you talking about, Ryan? I will never no death run a game, ever. You have to remember, it wasn't until I was on my way... Crap, did I mess that up? I did. It wasn't until I was on my way to Portland that I had finally beaten Super Mario Brothers for the first time. Oh, you bastard. So... pass... It's going to sound very cliche and whatnot, but pass on what you've learned. Don't use knowledge as a commodity. Use knowledge to everyone's benefit. I know this is very, kind of a socialist thought. I'm actually very libertarian and conservative. But, it's one of those things where it, at the end of the day, the better that... If Pat does better and people are watching more YouTube content, and Ian are doing better, then as long as people are looking for content, there is a chance that they will find me in my channel. So I want Pat and Ian to do as well as possible, because there could be a residual effect that helps me. And that's a good thing. Oh, crap. What's not a good thing is that I was out of life! Thanks for rubbing it in there, Ian. I appreciate that. How are you feeling, by the way? I know when we talked back in Portland, you were feeling pretty good, and I haven't heard anything health issue-wise. I hope you're doing pretty good. You know, don't back to, you know, helping each other out and everything. Don't shy away from who you are. You know, make the most out of what you bring to the table. So there is, you know, like I mentioned earlier, damn it, I'm going to die here again. One of my trolls is a guy, and I'll actually, if you guys want to check out his channel, he's a German gamer named Leo DS. Check it out. He is, without a doubt, one of the most negative people I have ever seen on YouTube. And he put out like a 45-minute rant video the other day on how he doesn't want to be on YouTube, and he doesn't like YouTube, and he's not going to put effort into it, so on and so forth. He's got like 200 subs. He spends 45 minutes talking about why YouTube sucks, how it's not for him, how he's got a blah personality, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's just... If you have a defeatist attitude, you're never going to get ahead. It's like people who think, well, I'm at this entry-level job, I will never get further than where I am now. No, you should never, ever begrudge humble beginnings. Let's see, let me go back. I'm sorry, I missed some of the chat. W getting better is a tall order. It is, but if you remember, during the WCW era, they both made each other better. Megadad played the Darkwing Duck 2 heck. I've seen seen E.C. Meyer's vid has played it, and it's amazing. Still you do that one. Yeah, no problem, dude. Like I say, we've talked a couple times here, there, and wherever, and you've always been super kind and gracious to me. And again, it's one of those things. This is a community. You can't have say in one breath, this is a community, and then not give a damn about the people who are in the community. You know, it's little things like, you know, this is gonna sound like I am patting myself on the back, and it's not meant to be. So here in town, we have a local brewery called Riggs Beer Company. If you've noticed over the last year, there's a certain hat that John Riggs wears. It's a Riggs Beer Company hat. Didn't have to buy it for him. It's one of those things where I saw it. He's my friend. I thought he would appreciate it. And he does. I love the fact every time I see it in one of his videos, it makes me feel good. You know, same with, and I've got to get this off to him. I don't know if he's still here or not. Rax the Great. Huge. He's a huge Castlemania fan. Adrian at Live Action Games got in a copy of the vinyl of Castlemania, damn it, Ryan! Castlevania. I think it was the first game that he got the vinyl on. And, I mean, it wasn't too expensive, so I picked up a copy for Rax. Why? Because it's something that I know that he would like and appreciate, and it's my way to be able to show support for his channel. If you have your channel monetized, don't drop like that. But if you have your channel monetized, if you go into someone else's chat, wow, do I suck? If you're wanting people to donate to you and your channel, donate to theirs. You know, I don't know how many times I go in and I don't even say anything. I just drop in, throw a couple bucks into the super chat, and I'm out. And it's, you know, I don't have time to sit and watch, and I'm not begging for donations here, so don't take it as that. But it's one of those where I can't ask for something that I'm not willing to do myself. Although clearly I'm not willing to not die in this game because, good lord, am I dying a buttload! And don't be afraid to give your opinion, even if it disagrees with someone bigger, more popular, more well-known. You know, I look at, and he's probably not in here anymore. He could be in here, but Sean Long, RGT85. He had done a video comparing all three NES clone systems: the RES Plus, the 8-bit HD, and the 8-bit HD, the RES Plus, and the Retron M. And I had just started filming mine, and I saw his video. I'm like, God bless it. And I didn't want people to think that I was copying Sean, and I don't think that he would have thought that. And even if I don't think he would have cared either, quite honestly, is where I'm going with this. But what it made me do is, okay, I see Sean's done this. I need to do something different. So what I ended up doing was breaking it up. Instead of a best out of 3, I did basically tournament style, where I did 2 systems against each other, and then the winner of that went against the next system. Listen, Nutty McNutterson. Oh, son of a bitch. I don't think I've ever been to... I did miss posts. I will get to them in a minute. This is Megavolt, isn't it? Holy crap. Son of a bitch. Alright, I'll pause it here in a second. I've never actually gotten to this part of the game, so... let's see. I would like PC games on Castlevania like Silver... That'd be interesting. I am missing peeps in the chat. I have missed quite a bit of chat, so we are checking out... Holy crap, GameSack! Thank you, guys. Yeah, I'm sorry. I am missing some big stuff in the chat here. Let's see. Who isn't a fan of Ryan? I'm a huge fan of Ryan. Let's see. Looking forward to keeping up. Wish I could make it out too many games. I do too. Hey, Adam at 1UP Cards. We were talking about him earlier. John, I will scroll back up to your post a second. Playing Mario Wii right now. Picked up... what did I pick up for the Wii recently? Oh, Donkey Konga recently. Let's see. Let me go back up here. I apologize. I have been focusing on the game and not monitoring chat as well as I needed to. Now, which member of GameSack is that, if you guys are still here? I do appreciate everything you guys do provide between you guys and my life in gaming and... who am I thinking of? Why can I not think of it now? I'm drawing a blank. I'm just kind of floored at everybody who's come by the chat here tonight. This has been really humbling, and I really appreciate everybody, and it's just awesome as I've been rambling here. Wow, crap. Wow. Seriously, thank you, guys. Ryan, I'm going to text you later, because I need to... I think you are behind a few things here. And... Not that I don't trust you, but I think you had a few things to do with a few things tonight. Is it me, or does Megavolt kind of look like Rizzo from the Muppets? Speaking of Muppets, I am kind of a Muppet if you think about it. No! Okay, so now all we need is Bushroot. Well, I know that one of them has departed. Yeah, that Dave is basically, back to, just working hard. I just hope that those guys do a reunion show eventually, because they are amazing together. Okay, I've never gotten this far in this game before, so 5 out of 6 beaten. And Joe is the one too that I saw that with the capacitor replacement, or maybe it was Dave, the capacitor replacement on the TurboGrafx 16. Wow, these guys suck! No, I suck. So, for those, again, who have gotten here kind of late, basically we're celebrating 2 years here on the channel. The channel actually started up a little bit before that, but life has a funny way of getting in the way of other plans. But I am increasingly blessed and thankful for everyone who has come by, not just tonight, but in any of our streams, checked out any of our videos, left a comment, thumbs up, thumbs down, taking their time to spend some time, with me and checking what we have going on here and supporting, myself, my family, and just listening to a middle-aged, bald-headed fat dude in his 40s talking about, reminiscing about some of his favorite retro games, because this ain't Fortnite. Man, if I had Fortnite, how many subscribers would I have? Alright, so Megadan's in here. How do I kill this damn dog? Because I am not able to kill him at all. Now, I have gotten to Bushroot once. Come on. Died again. I don't think we're going to continue after this one here tonight, but, we are going to wrap it up here in a little bit. We've got, like I mentioned, my 2-month-old daughter is kind of suffering tonight. My amazing fiance Ginger has been taking care of her tonight. Yeah, that's going to do it for us here. We'll hang out in the chat for a couple minutes here too. See if you guys had any other comments or questions. But Ian, thank you so much. Again, I'm glad to hear that you are feeling better, and I look forward to seeing you at PRGE again. And I don't know. I know Pat's coming to Missouri. I don't know if you're coming to Missouri too, but if you are, I hope to see you there as well. But like I was saying too, got to thank the amazing Ginger. I would not be streaming right now without her. She is taking care of of our 10-week-old daughter who just had her first round of shots today, and her little pudgy legs are red and swollen and everything, and it's kind of tough to hear the little one cry. I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, if you guys hear Mario crying from Yoshi's Island, no, that's the baby. She's not had a good night here, but I have got an amazing partner, and without her, this channel would not be what it is. So I greatly appreciate everything that she does. My oldest daughter, Cassie, as well, who has appeared on some live streams with me and whatnot, always makes things better and more fun anytime she is around. Definitely Ellie will be on live streams in the future. She's been on a couple streams so far. She's still a little bit little and doesn't like, it's kind of hard to hold a baby and play at the same time. I've kind of gotten used to doing it though on my PS4, so that is, oops, sorry, as I hit the noise filter here. Before we head off, again, I just want to thank everyone who stopped by tonight. I know I'm going to miss some names, but first and foremost, Ryan Schlemmer from CastlemaniaGames.com. Next to Ginger, you, my friend, I would not be where I'm at with this channel after 2 years without you. And you are a friend, you are family, and I will always support you and what you do, and I will never be able to thoroughly express my gratitude for everything you have meant to me and my family. And I know the same goes for you towards us here too. So ROX10 at CastlemaniaGames.com gets you 10% off on most items on the website. He's a good guy. I'm glad to call him my friend. Was in here earlier. Again, I mentioned Sean Long, RGT85. If you haven't done so yet, go ahead and subscribe to him. John Riggs. This might as well have been a John Riggs podcast as much as I've been talking about John. But two of the guys that just, they were, I think John was at about 35 or 40,000 subs, and Sean was just shy of 50,000 when I first started talking to him. And they're like completely open. I will, John. I'll get up to it in a second. Open to sharing information with me freely, collaborating on stuff, and just bouncing ideas off of. They're not here. I don't think I've seen them pop in here yet tonight. But the Pixel Game Squad, next to Ryan, I got to say that Aaron is one of the best people I have ever met in my life. Gabo is too. Um, Unfortunately for me, they're the only two members of the squat that I've met thus far. I've talked to Ricky a couple of times through speakerphone and whatnot. Um, they are just amazing people, and I'm blessed to have them in my life. Um, we had some big people show up today too. Adam Korlick, very gracious, very appreciative of you coming by. Ian Ferguson from the CU podcast was here. We had GameSack was here. Megadan29 is here. JLove81. Adam from One Up Card. Let's see, I'm scrolling up now, John. Yes, I missed your post there. Let's see, where am I going? Sorry, guys, I know this is interesting, isn't it? Let's see, here's a thanks, Ryan. Why didn't your donation show up on screen? Oh, I mentioned that right when I saw it, if that's the one you're talking about, John. I saw it here. I can actually see it right there. I'm seeing it, so I don't know why it didn't show up. I have new microphone, so I'm not using my headset. I can't hear any notifications or whatnot coming through my computer. It may be something that I've got something on the back end here of Streamlabs that I need to straighten out, and that could entirely be it. But it did not go unnoticed, and a couple other people. Holy crap! Just as we're finishing up, Nintendo showed up. Now, before we go anywhere, you guys, everyone in the chat, send Drew a thank you. First of all, he had this thing growing on his face for about 5 minutes. He shaved it off. Drew, thanks for doing that. But Drew has also been really gracious. There have been a couple projects that I've worked on that Andrew had footage. And I just messaged, like, if I give you full accreditation, can I use footage? We'll link you back to your page. And you're like, dude, sure, go for it. So, again, talking about how amazing this community is. Nintendo, thank you so much. Okay, John, I guess I missed. Was it before that? Because I'll keep scrolling then. I thought that's the one. That was the first one that I saw. But if there's something else, definitely let me know. That's all I'm seeing. Whatever it was, John, please feel free to go ahead and just repost, because I am not seeing it. Drew, very just awesome guy. He's the kind of guy when I grow up I want to be. I love his collection. I like the way he does everything. Just really cool. But I also want to give a shout out to some of the smaller channels out there too. Megadan is one of them. If you guys like watching complete no death runs, dude is freaking amazing. He's the Masami Hirosaka of gaming. Solid Nate is another one. T-Belly, another great member of this community. Linda, a.k.a. the Gaming Girl, is another one who, I think the sky's the limit for her. There's that JLove81. Nobody cares about her. Love you, JLove. That controller still works perfectly. Was that the one you were talking about with the controller, John? If so, I'm sorry that I missed that one. I did not see that post. I apologize for that. Oh, I did see that too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now please confirm this for me so it doesn't just sound like I'm blowing smoke here. John Riggs is in the chat. And John, I don't know if your ears were burning or not, but you have been a popular topic on tonight's stream. And just basically talking about how amazing and everything that you have been, and the support that you've provided to the channel and everything. So seriously, thank you, my friend. I won't even, actually, I have to admit, I did do the How You Feeling Discount John Riggs here. I did do that earlier tonight too. So that did happen. I do apologize for that, but it's kind of funny. I think it's funny. I did see that was for Murphy's surgery too, so I appreciate that. Let's see. And again, I'm having to look on my phone. We were running into some buffering issues on the stream earlier when I had a window open on the computer to keep an eye on the chat. So let me scroll up through here too. Jason, aka Vorange, on the channel too, has been a huge supporter. Cannot thank him enough. Trip from the Pacific Northwest has also been a very big supporter of the channel. Again, John has been from the beginning too, and I've got, you know what, John, I had it set to top chat, not live chat. That's why I'm missing stuff. I apologize. Why do some channels play music and never get copyright issues and other channels do? Back from school functions with my kid. Now I'm decompressing. I understand that completely. Ginger's downstairs with Ellie right now. We were talking a little bit earlier on how Ellie got her first round of shots today, and ooh, her legs are kind of sore. So getting into the music and why some do not get copyright issues. They might, and you don't see it. See, here's the thing with on YouTube and other creators, John and others in the chat, feel free to weigh in here too. You can put copyrighted content into, he's not, I don't think he is, but I know he was asking about the stream earlier tonight on Facebook. I think he commented on the Facebook post earlier today. Yeah, Trip, awesome dude, very cool. I'll get to a story about Trip in a moment here. It's story time. It's the Firefly Funhouse. So where was I going here? Oh, copyrighted music. So you can use copywritten content in a video if you wanted to. So a couple things can happen. And this is what happened for a long time. Why you didn't see me with Nintendo content on my channel, because they would copyright claim everything that was OE or first party Nintendo. At least the modern stuff. So like Mario Galaxy, Breath of the Wild, still the most overrated game in the Switch. Anything that was first party Nintendo, they claim because they wanted you to be a part of their YouTube, their partners program. So they would monetize it, and then you'd get like 3 cents. Literally, you'd get 3 cents. If you don't care about the monetization, you can throw whatever in, and as long, and what may happen is someone else may monetize on your video. So say I was going to do something with a racing game and have Primus's Jerry Was a Race Car Driver as the music. I don't have the rights to use that song. Primus and Interpol, I think is the, or Interscope Records, it's Interscope, has the rights to that song. So they can monetize my video and profit off of it. That's all well and good. Now, if you are taking content and claiming it as your own, that's where you can get into trouble. And if you have 3 copyright strikes like that, your channel gets deleted. You're done. In addition to that, there are tools out there that creators can use to get music to use on video that's royalty free. Now, there's websites out there you can buy licenses for. I've done that for my job in the past, and the problem with that has always been someone sells the license to someone else, and they don't respect the license, and you have to go through and dispute stuff. It's a pain in the butt. YouTube actually has a pretty nice music library that you can use. I've got 4 or 5 songs. Edgar, how you doing? Glad to see you here, my friend. YouTube has this nice collection of songs. I've got several. My brother used to be in a band up in Seattle, and about 10 years ago, I asked him, hey, I need several pieces of music for stuff that we can use. It's royalty-free, no lyrics, just music. Can you do something? To this day, I've continued to use that music. So when you guys see when I play the intro, basically where it's got the Earthworm Jim section, me kissing Riff, people get freaked out about me kissing Riff in that. By the way, they don't see it as a joke. Why are you kissing a dude, man? It's a joke. It's a flippin' joke. Relax. That's so gay. It's so stupid that you get bent out of shape about that. But there are things you can do as a creator to address, having just silence. And for the longest time, I just had silence in my videos. Now I've got music tracks pretty much over everything except for gameplay. So, John, I hope that answers your question. I'm sorry I missed it. Like I say, I had set my browser on my laptop here to live chat, but my phone was set to top chat, so that's why I missed that. I apologize, and I'm going to go through here too real quick to see if there's anything else that I missed, because I am sure that I missed stuff. I am just humbled, not just by tonight, but over the last 2 years of everybody and their support. And yes, we had some big channels in here tonight, but at the same time, we had some great friends in here tonight too, and that's the biggest thing. I hope you guys all know that I appreciate you guys just sitting and watching what I'm doing. There are times you sit here talking to a camera and you feel like an idiot. Well, some of us are idiots. Megadan 29 is a perfect example. Just going to say that right there. Let's see. There are channels like the greatest hits of the 70s that are 1 hour long. A lot of times they just throw that up there, and either it's become public domain, or they just don't care about if they monetize or not. And if you are seeing ads, it may be from the owners of the license of whatever piece of music that's in there. Chit Chat Gaming is in the house. He's another one you got to check out, along with Discart. He's another one you guys need to check out. I think we are the biggest and best channel is here in the house. Well, I mean, Ryan does technically have a channel. He just doesn't post much on there. Oh, shots fired. Shots fired. I'm looking forward. Mike, let me know if we can... Norm! Let me know if we can meet up in Chicago for NXT. I would be kind of interested in going to see that, and Ginger's even kind of interested in that too. Where everybody knows your name. I actually knew how to play that on the trumpet in middle school. I played trumpet, baritone, and tuba in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Some people wonder, hey, you have 3 instruments, how you can play 3 at the same time. Well, 1 out of each side of my mouth, because I talk out of both sides, and then use your imagination for the third. Brad, thanks for the subscription. Now, I will say, John, to your point earlier, because again I've got the mic going in and I don't have speakers turned on, I did not hear that alert pop up. So just as a heads up, there was nothing that we missed on here earlier. Oh, you're right, it is AEW. I was thinking it was NXT. Whoops. Sorry, Cody. But you know what? I appreciate you guys a lot. I really do. Everybody who has come and just hung out, like I mentioned before, not just in a live chat, but watched our videos, commented on them. You're amazing. You really are. And it's humbling to see the support, the friendship, just being a part of something bigger than yourself. Edgar, by the way, last week finally saw my original Xbox finally get the GameCube, and to my surprise, found an old copy of Metroid Prime in the bedroom. It was hidden for 13 years. Just so you know, there may be dead cats under like cushions and a couch or something like that. You may want to go ahead and clean a little bit more frequently. Just gonna. All right, Ryan, thank you so much. Now, you guys keep saying 7K. I'm not at 7K unless we have had a run on subscribers. I was about 75 short earlier tonight. Yep, we're still about 75 short, which is, still amazing that we have grown this much this fast, and I greatly appreciate it. I appreciate all of you, and I think at this point, I'm going to go show Ginger that I appreciate her by tagging in and taking the baby for a little bit so she can rest. Maybe she can just go use the bathroom or something because we've been streaming for quite some time. I didn't plan on streaming this long. Thank you all for a fun 2 years. Seriously. I'm looking forward to a lot more. If you ever want to have me come out to a convention or something like that, RoXolidMail@gmail.com. I'm up to traveling anything. Ginger is too. We're going to have a RoXolid production onesie for the baby, when we come out later on this year. Retro Fighters actually sent us a onesie. Check out our Instagram page. I posted it the other day where it says something to the effect of, I'm proof Daddy doesn't just play video games, with the Retro Fighters logo. So that's very cool. Thank you all, seriously. But in the meantime, until tomorrow, new video drops tomorrow. That's awesome, Edgar. See, and that's what I love about that, is passing the hobby on to others. So I hope he enjoys your Xbox. New video drops tomorrow. It's up live right now for Patreons. And basically what it is, it's part 2 to our Hyperkin HD TV cable for Sega consoles, where we compare it to the HD Retrovision cables going through an OSSC, and we address the issue talking about the adapter to go from a Model 1 to Model 2 Genesis. Again, for Patreon supporters, as I hit my laptop again, Patreon supporters $1 and up, already live for you. Otherwise, we'll be live tomorrow for the rest of the world. And then after that Friday, we will have our next Quick Shot review live, and that will be on the old school wireless Pro controller for the Nintendo Switch. So trying to get more stuff going here. Slowly but surely, we're going to get back into the swing of things. So I said it before, I'm going to say it again. Thank you all. I am Gary. This has been RoXolid Productions and our live stream celebrating 2 years focusing on our YouTube channel with Darkwing Duck playing through an HDMI-modded NES clone system, or NES original NES Top Loader, featuring the Hyperkin Cadet wireless Bluetooth controller. Until next time, everybody, we are checked out.